Hey, Jim. Thanks for getting online.
What's up, buddy?
I was thinking, we've got this Superman movie coming up. I don't know. I was kind of curious if you were up for me quizzing you on your kryptonite knowledge. Would you be up for that?
Oh, that's unexpected, but let's go for it.
All right. Here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to list a type of kryptonite. You tell me what effect that has on a Kryptonian. Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Green.
Oh, kills Superman.
Okay. Red.
Dude, easy. Creates a weird transformation.
Yep. You're good. Blue.
Oh, harms Bizarro Superman.
Jeez, you do know this stuff. All right. Gold.
Chris, if memory serves correct, it removes the superpowers.
Yeah. All right. Pink.
Man, makes Superman a good ally.
Jeez, you got it. Plaid.
Plaid.
Yeah, plaid.
Oh, I know. Make Superman more popular with Grant Morrison.
Jesus. All right. I'm gonna get tougher. What else do we have? Oh, okay. Cyan kryptonite.
Oh, makes Superman buy more Sean Crystal ink pulp art books.
Crystal kryptonite.
Make Superman change his name to Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, you got it.
Yeah.
Platinum. Got you now.
Chris, no effect on Kryptonians, but makes humans watch the Supergirl movie.
Yeah. And Jim, guess what I put in your coffee this morning?
Whoa! Oh no!
Yep. Time to watch Supergirl, the movie. Hit it, Jamie.
Trash Movie Bonanza with your hosts, Jim and Chris.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Trash Movie Bonanza. This is a show where two comic book buddies take a look at cult movies, schlock movies, underperformers, sometimes outright bad movies. We'll see which one today's choice falls within. But I'm one half of your hosts. My name's Chris. I also host Comic Tropes. With me, as always, is...
Yo, co-host Jimmy Jams and big fan of the Skull Kryptonite, Chris. The
Skull Kryptonite. Ooh, what does
Horror
Skull
Kryptonite
do? Does it make him appreciate Dan Aykroyd vodka?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Good product placement. It allows me to appreciate the very limited, weird, spooky moments of this movie. I
guess there's one or two. Yeah, there's one or two towards the end.
Right. So,
in fact,
Chris,
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so Supergirl from 1984 is our pick this month. It's
pick.
I know this is all my fault. Jamie can show the beautiful poster. But if you don't mind, dude, I just have to get this out of my system real quick by saying, if you guys haven't seen the movie, if you're preparing for the James Gunn Superman movie, I do just want to let everyone be aware of what a very quick breakdown of this is, which is, again, got to get this out of my system, Chris. A stoner loser, Peter O'Toole, has a energy ball hidden in his pocket that accidentally escapes their realm, goes to Earth. Supergirl has to go there to retrieve it. And then we're introduced to Faye Dunaway, who's a witch who's out in the real world and sees a shirtless landscaper guy and becomes horny for him. And then wants him to forcibly fall in love with her. And then that's basically the main drive of the Supergirl 1984 movie.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I'm done. Thanks. Good night, everyone.
I think you did it. I think you nailed it. Everybody give Jim a round of applause or buy one of his books to support it because he just nailed that, which is kind of impressive when you consider this is a long ass movie. We both watched the apparently like the director's cut version, which was over 2 hours
Too
of
long.
this nonsense.
Too long.
Way too
Yeah.
long.
Well,
Way too long.
We both watched it because it was free on HBO Max. We both have Max. So that's
Right.
the version you're getting. But you guys, like, so much of this could be trimmed down. If you can get a DVD or watch like the theatrical cut, I think is only 140, which is still long. Like,
yeah.
hour and 40, but like 2 hours, man, is a slog through this.
I mean,
weird.
No joke. There's at least 5 minutes. No, not even joking. There's at least 5 minutes of Supergirl flying, not saying anything, not doing anything that they could easily cut, and it wouldn't affect the movie. Because there's a lot of just sort of her flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was the 4th movie in the Superman franchise that the Salkind producers made.
Right.
Because they made Superman 1, 2, 3, Supergirl. This is in continuity. It was a theatrical release. And then, of course, parts 3 and Supergirl did so badly that the Salkinds sold the film rights to the Cannon Group, and they made the low-budget Superman 4, which we've already discussed.
Yeah, check out our review for Superman 4. Superman 4, man, is at least like quick and breezy compared to this. It's you're in and out. This is just the main thing of this movie, man. It's the script. Like, the script is so strange and nonsensical. And then I did a bunch of research on it, and I guess they had to do lots of rewrites because Christopher Reeve was originally supposed to appear in this movie, and his parts were scripted in. And then he wisely said, I'm not going to be a part of this train wreck, and bailed out. And then they had to compensate for his character not being there. But dude, I think
they did a big rewrite once he left. I think they did a big rewrite because I read some of the same stuff, Jim. I don't know if you came across this. They said that originally they wanted to have the enemy be Brainiac, who had captured Superman, and Supergirl basically, has to step up and rescue him, which sounds like a perfectly fine premise. And DC Comics said, please don't use those characters and concepts. What a different time.
Right.
And so they were just like, okay, we'll just make up our own shit.
Right.
But that's so much, I'd say, less satisfying. There's a small germ of a good idea here where Superman and Supergirl are really powerful, right? One of their few weaknesses is magic, and the enemy in this is a witch. So there's a little something there where you go, cool, you're coming up with an enemy that could feasibly take on a really powerful superhero. Except the villain is just so uninteresting, and all she wants to do is bang a groundskeeper, like a gardener. Played, by the way, by the guy that was Ellis in Die Hard.
Played by the cokehead in Die Hard. Hey, Hans, Bubby. I can give him to you. He's like the guy who forms the deal.
I like to think it's the same guy. He went through this. He had such a bad experience. He got into like finance, and like his mind was all warped from all the stuff the witch did with the love potion. That ruined him. She turned him into Ellis.
He became a late 80s yuppie at the Nakatomi Corporation because of this. But man, I was going to say, like, $35 million budget.
Yes.
Like, they put money into this movie, and like
that's a big budget for 1984, right? I mean, it's not as big as the Superman 1 and 2, but it's almost what they did on Superman 3. It's not small for 1984.
Right. And man, like, the flying effects, her costume and stuff like that all looks good. There's decent looking stuff in the movie, but you just realize how many misdirections and missed opportunities there are in this, and how many odd story decisions, and just, Helen Slater is great. I mean, she's one of the redeeming things of this. If you want to see a way better 80s movie with her, by the way, the next year, 1985, The Legend of Billie Jean. You guys watch The Legend of Billie Jean. That's an awesome movie.
Wasn't that also with a young Christian Slater?
And Christian Slater's in it. Yeah, her brother.
That's so weird. I just realized that Helen Slater, Christian Slater, they're not related. I just realized they play brother and sister.
Yes.
And they both, as actors, have the same last name.
Yeah.
You're totally right. That's a pretty fun, like, schlock movie.
It's awesome. It's be worth talking about on the show.
It could be. I think it's underrated.
But you realize her acting range when you know both movies.
This one doesn't give her a lot. Yeah. It lets her play like basically 3 different versions. You know, Kara Zor-El, the Kryptonian, Supergirl, and Linda Lee, her sort of human disguise. That's good. But I think you were right early on. You said the big problem is the script, and I agree, because they've got a really accomplished cast. Actually, Peter O'Toole and Faye Dunaway are in this. Mia Farrow is in this in like a tiny throwaway
2
role.
minutes. Yeah, as Kara's mom, Supergirl's mom.
Actually, like just about top to bottom, all of the actors are people that you've seen in other things, at least. If not like sort of name actors for the time. The director, Jeannot Swark, you know, not a big name necessarily, but he directed Jaws 2, which did well. Mm-hmm. He did a lot of TV.
Yes.
He's good. He's fine, I should say. He's better than fine. He's not, I would say he's better than, say, Richard Lester, the director of Superman 3.
Oh, right.
But yeah, like I want to like talk about the story here, because the script just keeps doing weird things that are very loosely, if not completely, not explained.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. And before we start that, I just want to say we always mention these kind of things about like constructing narrative, story, art, how to pull in an audience, how to connect with an audience. And the big thing with this movie, man, for the bloated 2-hour runtime, you're constantly as a viewer asking yourself, why is this happening now? Like, why is this? What is this? And that creates a disconnect with what you're viewing. And that makes the viewing experience less of a connection and less fun and less engaging. And it makes you, while you're watching the movie, want to just like pick up your phone or walk into the next room or whatever. You know, you can take a break.
Into the next room.
You can take a break and go make.
State. You're like, I'll let that keep going.
You can go to the kitchen and make some popcorn and not put this on pause. You can
go into the kitchen and make like a 5-course meal and come back, and your time will have been better spent.
You can make nachos, guys, and don't worry about missing 5 to 10 minutes of this. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I think we'll get into this a little bit more as we discuss this, but it's like the movie introduces a ticking clock that Kara Zor-El's home, it's powered by a device called the Omega Hedron.
Our city has 2 great power sources. This is one of them. Look.
An Omega Hedron.
And we'll get into like it, but you know, it gets lost. She goes to rescue it. And so that's the ticking clock. You know, the city is going to lose its power.
Right.
But they never cut back to the city to show these people in any danger. Right. And Kara never shows any urgency at all for getting things done.
No.
She wastes all sorts of time flying or going on dates at Popeyes and just like all sorts of nonsense. That's not even like an exaggeration. That's literally a big scene in the movie.
And that's the most noticeable thing that takes you out of the movie, where she lands on Earth and then suddenly she's enrolling in a girls' prep school. It's like, wait a minute. I thought there was a ticking clock. I thought her main mission was to find the MacGuffin, the electrohedron, what Omega Hedron, whatever it's called. The MacGuffin. It's the MacGuffin of the movie for sure. And it ends up landing in Faye Dunaway's picnic basket, or it's a bowl of nacho cheese. Chris, speaking of nacho cheese, it lands in her nacho cheese, and she's like, "This is a magic orb that I'm going to use for evil." How does she know? I don't know.
We're sort of like jumping past a few things I'd love to address, which is it starts off with Kara in a Kryptonian city. And I really think that this movie might have benefited from like a subtitle, like saying like, Lost City of Krypton, something. It assumes you kind of know some Superman lore. But whatever, they're in this utopian society that Peter O'Toole just sort of like walks up and he's just sort of like, out there where your cousin is, that's outer space, but we're in inner space. I go, what does that mean? I don't know.
Right.
But they're in another place, okay? How did this survive Krypton's explosion? Never addressed.
We don't
Whatever.
know.
It basically seems to me, though, that this could be a remnant from that idea of having Brainiac, because Brainiac in the comics, as all of us nerds know, shrunk a Kryptonian city, the bottle city of Kandor. And I felt like that was sort of the idea here, that like, and that would have been really cool. But instead it's called Argo City, and we have no explanation. It just exists, and Peter O'Toole somehow created this society with the power of like a yo-yo toy called like the Omegahedron.
Yeah.
It looks like such a chintzy toy.
He created, it's like a hippie commune. It's like open space, and people are wearing like the robes and stuff. It's not like the cold disco cocaine look of Krypton from the original Superman movie.
Which is kind of funny now that you think of it, because that would have been like, that was made in 78 and stuff. And this, I guess that's kind of timely. But 84, this hippie commune feels just out of date. It just feels like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like up to the minute. And he's using the Omegahedron and what I can only describe as an outright dildo. Yes. He's just carrying this orange dildo.
I was going to bring this up because there's...
And he can create stuff with it, right? Like you can basically do anything with it, but he's like making this white plastic, I don't know what, like a piece of a sculpture, right? And Kara comes up and she's like, oh, what are you making today? And he's like, I am making what they call in outer space, on Earth where your cousin is. I'm making a tree. I'm like, that does not look like a tree. Yeah. That is a sculpture at best. It's just weird, right? Yeah. Like this is in the first few minutes. And we're like, what?
Yeah. And one thing I have to bring to attention about Kara's character that goes throughout the whole movie that I don't like is when we're introduced to her in this world, she's a doe-eyed, kind of innocent, dumb girl. And she sort of stays that way throughout the whole movie. Because when she's Supergirl and gets to Earth, they're doing the fish out of water thing, which is fine.
Yeah,
but
it is.
When we're introduced to her on her home planet, she's like, I don't know math because I'm dumb. I'm a dumb girl. And Peter O'Toole's like, well, you're an artsy type. So artsy types don't know math. But we're immediately introduced to our main protagonist as not being the sharpest tack.
It's infantilizing. They treat her like she's 8, not say 15 to 18 or something like that. They treat her like a little kid. The movie does. Yes. And the people around her. And you're right. Like it was weird. And he's basically like, okay, Kara's parents come up and they're just like, hey, Zoltar, which I thought was like the name of like the magic guy in the movie Big with Tom Hanks. Okay,
it is,
thank you.
Yeah.
He's Zoltar, though. Zoltar. And Alora and Zor-El from the comics, they come up and they're just like, hey, Zoltar, like, what's new? And he's like, Kara, go, play with my magic wand. And she, like, turns it on. And I'm like, oh, my God, this thing looks like a dildo.
Okay.
And she sits down with her, like, legs out. And
I was going to bring all this up because, I'm kind of a pervert, but I was like, is this like a fetish thing? She's sitting barefoot with her legs spread open and she has this vibrating thing that she makes this motion and then she starts drawing on the ground with it. But for a second, I like...
And creating life.
I like leaned forward on the couch, Chris, and was like, what is this scene? What
There's something sexual about it. And then like, by the way, Peter O'Toole, even though he supposedly created this society with this energy source, he's not supposed to have it. Like they say that like, the elders or the guardians are supposed to watch over it and he's like playing with it when he shouldn't be. Yeah. And he kicks it over to her.
Yeah.
Which was a big mistake.
Like a hacky sack. He like...
Yeah. the power source of an entire city. And you're right. He's just like, hey, you want a hack sack with it?
He's a dumb hippie.
Maybe we could go play with a nuclear power reactor later today.
God.
You know, just sort of like toss around some isotopes, whatever.
Dude, exactly.
Whatever.
Dude, to make it even stranger is, you know, Peter O'Toole was sort of a known alcoholic, like functioning alcoholic. Yeah. So his interpretation of this character throughout the movie, especially when we see him on in the Phantom Zone, he seems like he actually is drunk or buzzed while doing.
I think the Phantom Zone stuff he might be. He seems like he came to set like,
and it's odd, but that happens a lot in older movies. That happens a lot where you're like, no, this guy was actually really drunk during this scene. It's like things were raw back then, man. People were partying on set and off set, and
especially like when they did plays. If you want to ever hear, folks, something entertaining, Peter O'Toole, Richard Burton, these guys were friends. There were like one or two other guys, and they were just like notorious drunks.
Yeah.
Good actors, but notorious drunks. Yeah. And they all, like, when they go on talk shows in the 80s and stuff, they all just tell stories of each other getting drunk and doing something ridiculous.
Yes.
Way more entertaining than this movie, in my opinion. Just look them up on, Carson, or even like by the time Conan comes around, they're still like, oh yes, I was absolutely blitzed. And then, Oliver Reed came over and he, like threw up in my lap and we laughed for 3 hours. I remember it was 3 hours.
And they're just spilling the beans on each other, where if you were a celebrity now and did that, you'd be canceled in like 1 second.
I know.
The other actors, agents, and lawyers would be calling you like, you're done. You can't talk about.
Oh, I was drunk and feeling up Helen Slater. It was a real gas. It was really funny.
Oh my God.
Like, no. Yeah. By the way, I did watch a behind the scenes of this, and I didn't see anything like outright inappropriate, but everyone kept calling like Helen Slater like sweetie and honey and stuff like that. It was very like, man, they're treating her like she's young.
Yeah.
Instead of the star.
Right.
We're getting off track.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because this device is so important. And within a few minutes, folks, she uses it to create a bug, okay? The bug instantly tears through the city walls, which creates decompression because they're in space, and the ball goes flying out.
Yeah.
It's like within 5 minutes, Peter O'Toole and Helen Slater have destroyed their society with their goofball antics.
Yeah. It's just, and also, dude, not to be super nitpicky, this is super nitpicky, but if she doesn't know what an earth tree is and she's lacking all this knowledge, when she sits down to draw, she draws a dragonfly. I mean, she draws an earth creature, earth insect, and it comes to life, like you said, but there's just these, it doesn't matter really to bring this stuff
like
up.
That, but, I'll just go, fine, Krypton had dragonflies, they were called like crypto flies. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot, Chris. Yeah, that was
in issue 279 of Adventure Comics. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, Superman goes back in time and gets a crypto fly as a pet.
Yeah, that was
but seriously, they just goof around with something that keeps apparently the entire city alive, and they instantly just sort of throw it out this paper thin wall that protects, like a bug breaks through the wall. And I'm like, what even is this world? What is this? Everybody starts yelling at Peter O'Toole, justifiably. He's like, yeah, I messed up. You know what? I deserve to go to the Phantom Zone.
Right.
I'm like, whoa, you did create this society. I'm like, I don't know if anybody's asking for that yet. And what does Supergirl do? She like sits on an old FedEx bubble wrap or something.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, this weird like colored plastic. An orb closes over her and she goes to Earth, I guess.
Yes.
To get the Omegahedron.
Right. Well, at least with the space travel part, we get the nice psychedelic landscapes of her going through space, but there's no explanation of her getting the Supergirl costume. Where is she landing? How does she know where
Jim,
to go?
Tell him about the Supergirl costume, though. Like, because that's weird.
Yeah. Well, shows up on Earth and just explodes out of a lake. Or I'm sorry, a cardboard cutout of her explodes out of a lake being held by a wire that we can see.
Well, they only had $33 million in 1984.
That's that shot. But then it immediately cuts to the actual actress in the suit, which all that wire work looks pretty good. And like I said, I think Helen, she looks great in the outfit.
Yeah.
Like that part of it is, it's the same costumer that did Chris Reeve's outfit. So all that's great. But man, with Superman, we had all this setup of him finding the fortress and his father explaining to him what his purpose is and the crystals. And this is just like, she's on Earth and she's in the outfit.
She was like in a nightgown a second ago. And then all of a sudden she comes out of the water in the Supergirl outfit. Like that's, it's very confusing. Maybe like a little kid, I probably watched it when I was a kid and didn't think about it. I was just like, oh yeah, that must be how it works or something.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
Super weird. And then she's on our, and then we get some of the fish out of water stuff where she's discovering she has superpower. She crushes a rock. She uses her heat vision to make a pretty flower grow because she's a girl.
Yeah, she's pretty. And then she smells it, and it's like she gets high because she starts floating up.
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, am I reading too much into this, or does that feel like what it is? She's like, and then she just starts floating up. I go, it feels like she just did a line and got high. I'm crazy.
This is the Mighty Mouse episode where John Cristofalusi got in trouble for Mighty Mouse
a lot
snorting.
More trouble later. You can look that up on your own
Way more
time.
trouble later. Way more trouble.
Yeah, that seems so innocent in retrospect. Having Mighty Mouse just snort cocaine in a cartoon.
There's so many tangents we can go on with this show.
Oh my God, I know. It's like we're avoiding like this, but yeah, so we meet Faye Dunaway and Nigel. Faye Dunaway is what? Selena? Do I have that right?
Selena. Yep.
Selena and Nigel, who at first I thought was like her butler or something. I guess he's more like a warlock mentor of sorts that she instantly abandons or ditches.
Yes.
So it's just not explained super well. But yeah, they're having a picnic on a tiger rug. It's just odd choice. It stands out. You're like, is that supposed to be important? No.
As one does, Chris. You bring a tiger rug out to the park when you're in this small. Where is this small town, by the way? It's outside of Metropolis or what?
It doesn't say. It calls it Midvale, I think. And I don't. Okay. That sounds like it would be a name from the comics. I didn't think to look that one up. Where Midvale is. It doesn't bother to explain. It feels like Midwest. It feels like a small town in the Midwest. Kind of lucky that throughout all of this time and space, the Omegahedron and Supergirl exit at the same place, and then she has to find it. But boy, does she take her time. Selena just instantly says, like, by the way, I want to rule the world. And Nigel tells her the only way you can do that is to be invisible. And I went, huh?
I can't wait until it's all mine.
The only way you can rule the world is to become invisible, my pumpkin.
That's the only way. And that doesn't play into anything, really.
Is he speaking metaphorically there? Like, what is that? I
thought it was literal. Like, you have to learn the power to become invisible or something.
But Chris, I might be reading into this, but does that play into the movie later when Supergirl literally fights an invisible monster because they didn't want to do stop motion or they didn't want to do animation? She's just fighting wind.
Yeah, maybe invisibility is supposed to be like a big threat.
I don't know. Again,
did you like how they explained that Superman would be Sir not appearing in this movie?
That was great. That was great. Yes.
You have to pay attention. You have to pay attention.
That was great.
Nigel gets in the car or something, or maybe Selena did, but somebody
does because she powers the car with the MacGuffin because he still has the keys.
He goes, "I've still got the keys, Selena," and she's like, "Yeah, I've got a yo-yo."
Yeah.
And the radio turns on and is just like, Superman's in another galaxy making peace.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Chris,
I've got the keys,
And the president
sweetheart.
confirmed reports that Superman has indeed embarked on a special peace-seeking mission to a galaxy scientists estimate may be several hundred trillion light years from our own.
Is
I
he?
have to say this. This reminded me so much. This made me laugh because it reminded me of the Poochie episode of The Simpsons where Bart and Lisa are watching TV and they're like, "What happened to Poochie?" And then it cuts to the TV and he's like, "Poochie was killed on his way to outer space." And they're like, "Poochie's from outer space, I guess."
Which was also a pretty great reference to how sad that like one episode of MASH was. Like they had like one of the colonels like leave and they're just like, he was shot down over the ocean. And then Simpsons turned it into a joke. They were just like, Poochie had to go back to his home planet. He died along the way.
Yeah. Superman's on a peacekeeping mission, like very, very, very far away.
Space.
Very far away.
Very far away. He ain't coming back anytime soon. So nobody commit no crimes.
Right.
Everybody be on their best behavior. Superman's not here. Yeah, that's a great explanation. You might have wanted to highlight that a little bit more to let us know Superman is definitely not going to be in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So Faye Dunaway escapes with the MacGuffin, but then she basically, I guess her and Nigel were also romantic lovers because she basically ditches him, right? She kicks him to the curb. Yeah. And he's, I guess, her mentor with the occult magic stuff, but she's like, well, now that I have the MacGuffin, I don't need you, like, kiss my ass.
But how does she know that she doesn't, like, if a little ball fell into my nacho plate, I would not say to you, like, Jim, I go like, well, I don't need you anymore as a friend. I now have ultimate power. Right. Like, how does she know what this is and what it can do? Don't know. She just instantly is like, I can do anything now.
Yeah,
what?
Just
did I miss something?
Not explained.
Not explained. Not explained. But she knows that it has power. And all that really matters is, I guess she was sort of like, more like a tarot card reader and studying the dark arts. But now that she has this orb, she can do any sort of magic she needs to do.
Yes. Yeah.
And she just knows that.
And we're also introduced to the woman, like straight out of the TV show Falcon Crest, like her assistant Bianca.
Her
is
roommate.
That her name?
Bianca.
There's just a middle-aged woman living with her who's like
just some weirdo.
That didn't work out, and she just comments on things throughout the movie. Like it's so weird.
I think it was literally so that, like, you know, Faye Dunaway wasn't just talking to herself all the time, going like, you know, like, now I'll get Supergirl. Like she's saying like to her friend or assistant or roommate something. There's a weird scene in this movie where Faye Dunaway is, you know, plotting her evil machinations, and all of a sudden the friend pops through a door on a toy train. She's riding it. Not explained at all. And I go, what? Why do they have this gigantic toy train set to ride around? These are like, you know, middle-aged women.
It's
why
like
would they live in Pee-wee's
it's
Playhouse?
right out of an episode of Silver Spoons, Chris. It's
oh my God, yes.
Ricky Schroeder was also in that scene, and they had to cut him out for time.
That's what it was. It was an official crossover that there wasn't enough time.
Yeah. But no, you're right. She's there to comment on everything, and also, I guess it's trying to replicate like the Ned Beatty assistant to Lex Luthor, but she's not as charismatic as Ned Beatty.
Like Otis was bumbling in the comic relief, but Lex Luthor still gave him tasks to do. Bianca is just there, folks. Bianca is just there. She does not get like work. She just has to stand around.
Yeah.
And I guess be funny.
And she's drinking wine. She's like getting wine drunk during the day.
Every adult in this movie is constantly smoking or drinking. Just to be clear, like everybody's smoking. They're like
in this children's movie.
Yeah. For a kids movie, there's some questionable stuff we're going to cover. Well, let's cover this. Supergirl. What's her first interaction with humans? Two truckers just drive up out of nowhere and are ready to R-word her.
Yes.
It's creepy as hell. And one of them is Max Headroom.
Yes. The actor who played Max Headroom. And he is rocking the A&W root beer shirt. I had that growing up in the Midwest, the A&Ws, Chris.
Yes.
So to me, it's like he's sullying the brand of my childhood, of the fun times I had at A&W grabbing a burger with my mom
And they
and
probably
dad.
paid for that. A&W probably was like, yes, put our brand on the guy that wants to molest the hero. That sounds like a good marketing move. Everyone will see it.
So weird. Them and Popeyes.
It's weird. Of course they can't get anywhere because she's got superpowers. But that's her first interaction with humans.
Mhm.
Like, that should be basically what she might think of people. First of all, it's an uncomfortable scene. I don't think it's the best way to show her powers. It would be better to show her save somebody right away.
Mhm.
You know, that would be heroic as compared to just like, it's supposed to, I think, be female empowerment. Like, hey, you ever feel like, you got catcalled? What if you could just, blow them away?
Yeah.
Not blow them. Blow them
Right. I was going to say,
away.
careful. Yeah. Be careful. Yeah.
She does kick one of them in the nuts and he goes flying.
Yes.
That was pretty funny.
It is strange though, because she just randomly lands in the street at night.
Yeah.
And this truck comes down the street, sees her in her cute little outfit, and the two guys are these total scumbags.
Right.
And it's a very tacked on, odd introduction to.
And
all
beyond
of
being
this.
an odd introduction, it means that, like, the next time that Supergirl sees people, she all of a sudden wants to join them. And I'm like, I feel like she would be very suspicious
Mhm.
of humanity at this point.
Right.
But instead, she comes across some schoolgirls playing softball and is like, that's for me. Walks behind a tree, is in a schoolgirl outfit.
Yes.
That's a new power I didn't know about.
one of her magic transformation power. What is this, Superman 4? Where you can build the Great Wall of China by looking at it? Like,
Yeah,
what is
she
happening?
just has a new superpower.
Yeah.
And that really starts derailing the thrust of the movie. I get why they did it, of course, because in the comics, Supergirl has a secret identity. She's Linda Lee, or sometimes Linda Danvers, and she goes to school because she's younger than Superman. I get that, but it really derails what this movie is setting up in terms of she's got to rescue her people.
It takes all the urgency out of that, man, to the point where even the dumbest, most casual viewer would be like, why is this happening? Like, I thought she was on a mission. Again, with the whys. Why is this happening now? Now, why is this? What is this? And then we got to be introduced. We're introduced to Lois Lane's younger sister.
Lucy.
And then we're dealing with a dean of the school. And then it becomes
Who's a
almost this
goofy
like,
guy.
it becomes almost like a PG rated version of like an 80s college movie where there's a shower scene and there's prankster girls at the school pulling
a shower scene in a PG movie, but there's like they you don't see anything, but the girls are all taking showers and it's just like you don't see the boobs like you do in a lot of other movies. But I was like, this feels weird for a family movie to be having like this big scene in a shower room. I don't know, it felt weird.
Strange. And also, dude, the girl who is playing Lucy Lane, she looks like she's like 12 years old. She doesn't look like she's 16.
Young. I agree.
So when she's making out with Jimmy Olsen later, it looks
and Jimmy's
weird.
pushing, like trying to be like a young guy, because Mark McClure had been young enough looking in 1978 Superman. This is 6 years later, and he's supposed to.
Yeah,
I get that Jimmy is supposed to be young. Jimmy and Lucy Lane date in the comics, and I'm glad that they had the connective tissue, at least a little. To the movies. I like that. But it's weird. Jimmy looks way too old for her.
Yeah.
He looks way too old.
They do introduce some like early fan service of making a point of being like, okay, Kara knows that she's Clark Kent's cousin.
Yeah.
This is talked about out loud with the other characters.
So I said you just flew over my head. True or false?
True.
Like Superman.
He's my cousin.
Lucy is obviously Lois Lane's younger sister.
Oh, of course, the Daily Planet, of course. Linda's cousin works there. And your sister, what's her name? The one that's always calling me and bothering me.
Lois.
Ah, yes, that's the one. Anyway, show our new Miss Lee around, Miss Lane.
So there's a shared world. We get it. I mean, that's an early attempt to put all this together, but Yeah, the only person they could get from the original flicks, probably budget wise, was Jimmy Olsen.
Who else would make sense though? In some ways,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Superman. But if he wasn't going to be there, I don't think like Lois Lane or Perry White or anybody would have made sense. So you're sort of left like, okay, yeah, Jimmy dates Lucy Lane. Lucy Lane goes to school with Linda. It makes a certain amount of sense logistic wise.
Yes.
But it's also like, does Jimmy get much to do? No.
No.
I mean, maybe a little bit more than some of the movies, but not much. He's just there.
He's just there.
Does he do it? Like, that today he'd get at least one sort of heroic moment of his own. He'd do something clever.
Yeah.
People give like some actual stuff. Stuff to do if you're going to have that character there.
Chris, when we have like the thrilling tractor scene in the city where the tractor goes crazy,
I can't wait to talk about it. Can I
Jimmy
mention
Olsen
one thing before that?
should have done something in that scene. He
Yes,
could have saved the
exactly.
kid, but it's just he's just sort of walking around.
Pictures. He takes pictures with Lucy in danger.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like Jimmy is the kind of character that would definitely get in over his head.
Yeah.
Real quick before that, there was a weird scene, and I'm curious, did you catch this? When, I'll call her Linda now, when Linda is introduced to Lucy at the dorm room, Lucy has a rolled up comic and she starts reading it. Could you tell what that was? I noticed it right away, personally.
Shoot, I someone mentioned this in one of the behind the scenes things that I was just watching. What title is it?
Incredible Hulk.
That's right. It's a Marvel book.
Yeah, it's a Marvel book.
That's right.
Which, I mean, I get that it would be weird if she was reading Superman, but isn't that weird to be reading a Marvel comic? It was specifically, I recognized it. It was Hulk 271, the first appearance of Rocket Raccoon.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If you look, you can definitely even tell on that page, like in the bottom panel, you see Hulk, Walrus, and Rocket Raccoon. And I go, weird.
That's wild. So, dude, in this universe, Marvel Comics is a real publisher.
Marvel Comics exists within the world of Superman. Good.
Okay.
Good for them.
Okay.
Just felt weird. I didn't know what to make of it. I paused it. I'm watching it with my wife. By the way, let me say this as a positive. I'm watching it with my wife. My wife kept going, this movie is great because it's so ridiculous and she doesn't have any expectations of the continuity and just weird things kept happening. And she kept saying like, this movie's fantastic. And I go, are you serious? And she goes, this is weird, but this is funny.
She was having fun with it. I mean, I would say you can watch this with a group of people and be talking during it and you're not going to miss anything. Watching this alone, dude, I was like, this is a slog, man. This is like
you have no one to blame but yourself.
I know. I chose. This is my fault. It's my fault.
But yeah, let's get to the Killdozer scene. The Popeyes, biscuits, and Killdozer scene.
Yes. Yeah.
Linda, Lucy, Jimmy, and some shirtless guy are all hanging out at Popeyes.
Yes.
Because, they were definitely, by the way, a sponsor for this movie or something like that. Because Popeyes,
they paid money for sure. For sure, they paid
Popeyes
money.
is prominent in this.
Yeah.
And Selena casts a magical spell to capture the groundskeeper that she's got a crush on, and she releases Killdozer. Oh, I forgot. She had fed him the love potion before this, right?
Chris, I have to bring this up because I need your wise feedback on this.
That's what I'm here for.
The whole movie revolves around this MacGuffin and it having these magic occult powers that are going to make her invincible, right?
Right.
Then, because she's horny for the shirtless Ethan guy, Elliot, whatever his name is, she creates a love potion, but it involves not the MacGuffin, but like a spider in a nutshell with
it's a spell.
Water. It's a spell. But it's like, well, she could have just done this anyway. The love spell. Like
I don't know. Maybe she needed the power to do it, but you're right. Like and she basically she gives it to him and it acts like Rohypnol. The guy passes out and whoever he sees first, he's going to fall in love with. She's Selena's like, it'll be me. I forget. I guess she gets distracted because Nigel just comes to visit. That's not important. Ethan wakes up all groggy, walks through the house, which apparently is a haunted house with all sorts of like fake spiders and like skeleton men that can like jump out.
Yeah.
And I was like, is he hallucinating? No, I think Selena literally just lives in a haunted house.
It's an abandoned carnival set where she lives, I think is the idea. So that hence
I forgot that later they were at a carnival.
Chris, hence the train. That does explain the train, the Silver Spoons train.
Jim, I feel so dumb. I did not put any of that together. I thought that was her weird house. I didn't realize she was living at a abandoned carnival.
I liked it better before we said that because I like the Silver Spoons reference. And I like the idea that this movie's so strange and weird that this witch girl woman just has a train in her house. But the idea when it goes to the haunted house scene, it's like, oh shit, her base, her headquarters is an abandoned old carnival.
That's actually a cool idea. All it would have taken is an establishing shot so that I knew that that house was there at that carnival. But you're right. You have to like put that together from later stuff.
It's not explained.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Now, Chris, my research also let me know this is the same carnival location that's in Batman Killing Joke.
There's some dark stuff happening in another corner. Commissioner
Killing
Gordon
Joke,
is having
you don't
his worst
see,
day.
but Faye Dunaway's in the background of one of those panels. It's,
she's going, oh, Joker's naughty like me. What a rascal.
She's the original Harley Quinn. She's the
original Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
By the way, Faye Dunaway has some amazing performances on film. Certainly Chinatown. That's one of my, that's a great movie. But,
Bonnie and Clyde.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Warren Beatty.
So
guys,
I know
if you haven't seen
capable.
it, watch Bonnie and Clyde. That movie's awesome.
It is awesome.
It's great.
It's like she's a completely different person as far as an actress goes in this movie. Or she got notes that she was in a different movie. She's terrible in this. I don't mean to be mean, but she's legit not interesting and like goofy and just, and a lot of times when they've got her on the camera, they've done that thing where they like smear some Vaseline on the lens. So like she's always in soft focus to make her like, look prettier, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it got distracting. I was like, cause it would switch a shot and it would be like, the Vaseline smeary version. And then like everybody else is in sharp focus.
Yes. It's weird.
She's terrible. She's just terrible. I think she's legit my least favorite part of the movie.
I think you're right in saying that, like, I don't think she even knew what movie they were making when they were making it. I mean, she probably thought like, I thought this was a Superman movie. It's Supergirl. Like what? Oh, Chris Reeve's not showing up.
Maybe
hamming it up. I don't know what she's doing.
It's strange because like there's some sort of hammy performances by like the guy that plays Nigel. Certainly Peter O'Toole is, blitzed off his ass, but they're entertaining. They feel like they belong. Faye Dunaway just she's not interesting as a villain. And if you've got a boring villain that can basically just do whatever she wants, but all she seems to want to do is bang a gardener.
Yes.
It's not interesting. It's not interesting.
It's bizarre.
She's a terrible villain.
And I'm not even, this isn't even, this movie doesn't even have lots of obvious feminist overtones to it, girl power overtones. But is it weird, man, that pretty much halfway through the movie, it's like our heroine and our main villain are basically both transfixed by this douchebag guy. Like, you know what I mean? Even Linda, when he becomes infatuated with her, he's under the love spell. When they connect, she's like, oh, this is my first love, my first kiss. And she becomes like, she starts acting like a little teenage schoolgirl who's first time in love, which she is. She does become that. And there's a scene where she's like practicing kissing in a mirror. It's very weird. It's like, this is what little girls fantasize about. And Supergirl's flying with horses. There's horsies in the movie. And it just seems like there's a bunch of old coked out executives were sitting around a table going, what do we put into the movie for girls? She flies with horses. She holds a flower. She kisses a boy. She likes boys. She's at the sock hop with her friends. And it's like,
I'm surprised they didn't give her like, some crayons and a coloring book and infantilizes or something. Girls love coloring within the lines.
Right.
Give Supergirl a scene where she has to color within the lines.
Right.
It's a terrible villain. The only thing I liked about the sort of love story, because also Ethan is not interesting. He's just nothing. When he sees the first person, which even that I'll argue with a little, because he's stumbling drunk through the city, like seeing everybody. But I guess it's whoever you focus on first.
Right,
I'm going to just like give the movie that. Supergirl saves him from the Killdozer, opens it up, and then turns into Linda Lee, I guess. I don't know why she decided to, but she does decide to just turn into Linda.
Yeah.
And so he sees Linda. And what I thought was interesting was that he legit, I mean, it's fake, but he loves Linda, not Supergirl. And I go, okay, that's mildly different than, say, everybody loving Superman and thinking Clark Kent is,
they flipped it.
A dork.
They flipped
it, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It's just a decent idea to explore, but it doesn't really get explored. It's just a thing that happens. That's what this movie is. Things that happen.
Things happen.
Things happen. Another reason I thought that this didn't feel like family friendly is Ethan is stumbling drunk down the city street and nobody goes to help him. No. He's in the middle of the road with cars swerving around him. And then Lucy goes, look at that dingleberry.
Hey, stupid. Look at that dingleberry. What's a dingleberry?
I go, whoa.
Yes. And even Linda, Supergirl goes, what's a dingleberry?
Yeah.
And then Jimmy's just hanging out in the restaurant.
Jimmy's just there. Yeah, he keeps going like, well, hey, I've got the chicken. You guys want to get back inside? He legit has a scene. He's like, yeah, that guy's going to get hit by a car and die. You guys want to get some biscuits? They're really buttery.
Concerned. Well, that if we don't do something.
Oh, yeah, you go out there and try to help a guy like that, and he's probably got a gun or a knife, It's not too safe. Hey, I'm starving. Let's eat.
Yeah, he's like, our food's getting cold. Screw this drunk guy in the street. Like, who cares?
Not for nothing. I spent $5 on a bucket of chicken for us. I don't really want it to go to waste. Forget this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I feel like Jimmy would be the kind of person that would just go over and be like, hey, buddy, you need a hand? But not here.
And ironically, too, man, Lucy Lane, out of the blue, jumps into the Killdozer and tries to stop it. She pulls a heroic move, but then
I like that. Except
she gets knocked in the head. She gets knocked out. But one of our big action set pieces, man, is this Killdozer going through the town. That's supposed to be riveting.
Yeah. I mean, they break a bunch of stuff.
They do break some shit. They do.
I like that a little bit. I liked it a little bit. It's just that. Yeah, I mean, once Supergirl shows up, she just sort of tears off the claw gripper part that has Ethan in it, and actually just lets the machine go with Lucy in it until it crashes into a building to stop. Yes. And then Jimmy's like, "You okay?"
Yeah.
I was like, you kind of forgot about your friend, but okay."
Wow. Yeah.
And then we follow that up immediately with Selena summoning, like you were seeing earlier, the invisible monster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's hard to get super excited about a hero fighting something that neither of us can see.
Yeah. It becomes her fighting special effects, basically.
And not even that, just sort of like getting like yanked on a wire, like, oh, I got hit by something.
Right. And like, a wall crumbles down because the monster fell into a wall.
That, or like the monster standing on like, planks of wood that were snapping up or supposedly stepping on a car. I would be legit interested to see the effects of how they made the car crush inwards.
Yeah.
Like that's an interesting effect if you're going to do this. But the actual battle isn't that interesting. And she defeats it with something questionable. Supergirl grabs a metal pole, flies into the sky, gets it hit by like 3 or 4 lightning bolts. And apparently, did you know this, Jim, that metal just holds that charge?
It can shoot out that lightning then at a monster.
If you needed to.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I didn't know that that's something that a metal pole could do. I'm going to remember that the next time I'm attacked.
I will give them credit for this, though. When the lightning shoots at the monster for 1 second of the film, we see the outline of the monster because the lightning's going over the form. So that's kind of like, oh, that's, if you're a young, dumb kid watching this, it's like, oh, that's a creature. Okay.
Exactly. I would have said,
that's it.
What if they could have done like a fog effect? And even if they had some sort of like, a glass mask that the fog sort of hinted at or something, that would have carried a lot of weight for just having the gist of like a monster being there. Completely invisible wasn't as interesting to me.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I guess, is this the point where Supergirl just goes after Selena? Yeah, she does. And Selena throws her into the Phantom Zone.
Yes, she gets banished to the Phantom Zone.
I kind of like that. Am I weird for liking the Phantom Zone?
Yeah, there's a time code I want to send Jamie of like when she gets to the Phantom Zone, but she's walking through the landscape of it, and we have the creepy music. For one hot second, I was like, is this like a Kubrick movie suddenly? This is like 2001. It looks good. It sounds great. There's a creepy atmosphere to it. And then she falls into a mud pit and drunk Peter O'Toole rescues her. And then Chris, he keeps saying the most uncomfortable thing, which is, do you want to squirt? He's drinking this like Phantom Zone malt liquor, this alcohol, because he's obviously inebriated. And he keeps saying, do you want to squirt? It's like, don't say
he's
that
to a bottle, and he puts it right up at her mouth and is like, squat, squat.
Zoltar?
Squirt.
Zoltar, it's me. It's Kara.
No. Squirt.
It was uncomfortable. But I did like the visual of the Phantom Zone, the audio, the visual, the idea of it. That was the one moment that started getting my imagination going, where I was like, oh, boy, that would make for an interesting miniseries of like somebody trying to survive in the Phantom Zone. Because do they need to eat? Do they not need to eat if you exist in the Phantom Zone? But like, what do you do? It's just empty. There's nothing there. I feel like it should be lifeless. There shouldn't even be like monsters or animals. Like there's just nothing. And I found that a little interesting. For just like a few minutes, it got my imagination going. It was something we hadn't seen before.
Yeah, just a quick
and I liked it.
Yeah, it was cool.
But you're right. But squirt. And then go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, but then it goes into the awkward conversation between the two of them, and Peter O'Toole has given up any hope of saving their city or getting out of the Phantom Zone until Kara quickly and efficiently just convinces him to change his mind. It happens rather quickly.
I mean, I guess he didn't really know how to get the Omegahedron, so he'd given up on everything. I also think like, even if he did messed up like that, it didn't make sense to me that the people of Argo City would have legit banished him to the Phantom Zone. And by the way, even if they did, that means that there would be a way for Argo City to survive if it totally was collapsing without the power source. They would have a last-ditch way to stay alive. They could have all gone to the Phantom Zone with the hope that someday they could be rescued.
That's a good point.
Which they probably would have been. So
that's a good point. Yeah.
The implications of it are a little weak that he would be there. And he doesn't really need to be, because you're right. Like, Kara already wants to get out. And the only thing he does is go like, oh yeah, you can get out of the Phantom Zone, but you have to climb a mountain that has a tornado beside it. So what, was General Zod just lazy? He was just like, well, I
He
ain't
just
dealing
didn't-
with that.
Too much of a risk, too much of a gamble.
Ursa, Non, we could get out of here anytime we want, but we'd have to climb that hill, and there's a tornado beside it. Let's just stay here.
They're beautiful black disco suits, Chris. What would have been maybe damaged by that?
That's a great point. They're like,
that
yeah,
climb,
they were like,
would have
ruined this.
They look so clean and good. And Peter O'Toole looked like shit when he got to the Phantom Zone. He's covered in like soot, and he's in like
dirty guy. Like, yeah, they're both covered in like green slime and ash. The other Phantom Zone criminals came out looking pretty fly.
They look great.
Who cares about that, right? But it is kind of weak that like the way out is you literally just sort of climb a hill. Peter O'Toole gets sucked up by the tornado. I found it a little hard to care too much.
Yeah, I didn't care.
Because I don't think he's
It's
like dead.
fine.
He just seemed to get pulled off.
Yeah.
And when Kara gets to the top of the mountain, she's able to walk through a glass mirror at Selena's house.
She smashes through the mirror, flies through when she gets out of the Phantom Zone.
Again, it's like, this stuff's weird. It's like, there's no rules to anything.
No.
You can cross dimensions by just sort of willing it.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, I don't think there was any thought put into this by the director, and it's just this happens and then this happens, and we get the fight, and we get and Lucy and Jimmy Olsen are prisoners, along with
Nigel,
the Warlock guy, and then this happens, and then okay.
Exactly. Selena summons some sort of literal demon, and this time we get to see it.
Yeah.
That's different, at least. It can't do a lot, because I think it's just a gigantic puppet or something like that. Maybe it was a small puppet filmed as like a miniature. I don't know. And they get weird special effects. Like it grabs Supergirl and it just like stretches her.
Yes.
Until like Supergirl just sort of decides, oh, you know what? I guess I'll fight back. And Nigel is like, the only way to defeat Selena is to confront her. And so she spins around Selena.
Yeah.
And that solves the day. We're done. We are done.
We're out,
Do you
people.
get to see Argo? Supergirl just flies right back to Argo City with the Omegahedron. We don't get to see her greet her people or them celebrate and triumph that they're going to survive. We just see this miniature of Argo City in space, and it slowly lights up. Credits.
Yes. Yeah. We're done, baby. We're done.
Like, the movie is so uninterested in the danger to Argo City. So uninterested.
Yeah. It's reckless how uninterested they are.
What do you like within the movie?
Like I said, I think Helen Slater is the selling point of the movie. It's interesting because their first choice was Brooke Shields, and
they also auditioned Demi Moore.
Yes,
and I think she might have potentially been up for it, but she took another movie.
Oh, she did St. Elmo's Fire instead.
No, but she did another one right before that.
Shit,
I can't remember what it is.
You're talking about Demi Moore?
What?
You're talking about who are you talking about? Okay.
To me.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
It doesn't really matter, but Helen Slater said she did have to do something like 4 auditions. I think that the behind the scenes just focuses on Helen Slater because she got it, but 4 auditions is a decent amount. And knowing that Brooke Shields and Demi Moore were auditioned, I think that they would have potentially given it to them. But Helen Slater works. Helen Slater totally works. I agree with you. They
did the thing they did with Chris Reeve where it's like they wound up going with an unknown, which
that's
I think
what they specifically wanted to do. Exactly.
Yeah. And also, but you can pay an unknown less money. I'm assuming Faye Dunaway and Peter O'Toole got more money than
I'm sure
Helen
they
Slater,
did. At the same time, I don't think that they were paid like $1 million or anything. You know what I mean? Like it was a big deal for Marlon Brando to get $1 million for his like 5 minutes in the first movie.
Yeah.
Back then. So where did all this money go? Like some of the effects are good. Some of them are like kind of bad green screen flight effects and things like that. I'm like, where did this $33 million go? I don't think you see all of it on screen.
Yeah. And I know a lot of this was shot at Pinewood Studios.
Yeah.
So over in the UK. So I'm wondering, like, the town where everything gets destroyed by the Killdozer and stuff. I think that might have been a whole set that they had to build.
I think so too.
To
I think that
destroy
they
it. So it's like, okay, I could see a lot of money because they built a whole town, basically a main street anyway for that.
I suspect some of it could have existed, Jim, but I think that they created a lot of facades that they could destroy because they did destroy a lot of buildings.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree. That probably cost a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Back then. I don't know.
And Chris, the train that Bianca rides in, that costs a lot of money. Those trains ain't free, buddy. Come on.
I can't. It does legit make sense now that I know that they were at a carnival, but I couldn't put that together before because
we're both horror guys, so there is that odd thing of when he gets drugged and then he just is stumbling through this spooky haunted house. And if you're a little kid watching the movie, like some of that could be weird and just off-putting. And there's another quick thing too, man, where Nigel shows his mirror, a mirror, and there's shot of like the shadow demon thing in the mirror. And I remember seeing this as a kid and being freaked out by that. Being like,
it is funny, like
shit.
Little brief things like that. As a kid, you're paying attention to all of it. As an adult, my attention wanders here and there. But you're right. Like, yeah, it probably is more effective for younger kids. I think by the time you're a teenager, you'd get bored. But you just, I don't know, 8 to 11 or something is the age range for this movie.
It's bizarre, man. Maybe. I also had a interesting note of, did you know Dolly Parton was offered $7 million to play Selena?
I didn't know she was offered $7 million.
She said, I can't do it because I cannot play a witch. I cannot sully my image and reputation. I can't be a bad guy.
I get why she wouldn't want to do that for it didn't like jibe with her career. But I will say that Dolly could have made that a lot more fun because you just lean into a little bit more of the camp. And I think that she would have come across as charming in her own way, even if she's doing evil things. I just think that Dolly Parton does feel tonally like she would have made more sense than Faye Dunaway.
Yeah.
Faye was not good. I liked Peter O'Toole. I liked Helen Slater. I thought the love interest guy was terrible because he's just nothing. The villain.
Awful.
And that all comes down to the writing. The villain is terrible and the love interest is terrible.
Yeah. And before he gets drugged and everything, when we're introduced to him, he's a male bimbo. He's an idiot. He's a nothing character. So it's weird that we have these sort of powerful women characters fawning after this beefcake idiot. It's strange. It takes you out of it.
You look at it and you go, with $33 million in these actors, if they had been allowed to do some of their initial ideas with Brainiac and Superman, probably would have turned a profit. Instead, this only earned something like $14 million. So it lost a lot of money when you can add up advertising and stuff like that.
Yes.
Lost a lot of money.
Big dud.
Even though Superman 3 cost a little bit more to make, it didn't make anywhere near the profit of the first two, but it still turned a profit. You know what I mean? Like, not a big profit, not enough for them to get excited. But this one lost money, and that's when they just were like, forget it, we're done with Superman. It ran its course. We made 4 of these things.
Yeah. And then Superman 4 came out after this movie and also was a dud.
A few years, yeah, well, it was a dud, but that one, because they spent less, I think they only spent like $17 million on it, Jim. That one actually did make money. Because I think it earned about $40 million at the box office.
Yeah,
so that probably made, like, it probably turned a small profit. Canon knew what they were doing with their budgets and stuff like that. Even though it wasn't like a great movie, and I think it went over budget, it probably at least broke even, I'm thinking. I don't know. Yeah. I don't remember.
And before I forget, man, there is a super quick Chris Reeve cameo in this when Lucy Lane has the movie poster of Superman in her room, but it's kind of a cool moment because Linda Lee
would be a fan of.
She lights up and we see her face first, and then the camera pans over and we see the dramatic Superman poster, the famous pose of him pointing up. And I thought it was kind of a cool moment of like, oh shit, okay, great image and her reaction to it. But it is funny because it's like, well, this is just the poster image that you guys all know from Superman. It's like,
Do you know him? Superman? Sure. My sister's got something going with the big guy.
I know it's
Right.
not much, but it carries some weight. I mean, Superman exists in this world, but it's a little inconsistent with like Supergirl is in basically the same costume, and some people are like, "Wow, you know, a superhero," and other people are like, "Who's that?" And I'm
Right.
like, "You don't recognize the Superman costume and this like lady's got powers?" I don't know.
exactly.
Like, because the thugs, I sort of get, they're like, oh, nice Halloween costume. The truckers, like, nice Halloween costume. But then she does like blow one of them away with super breath. You'd think the other guy would instantly go like, oh, Superman powers, I'm done. Instead, he pulls out a knife, and I'm like, Superman has like saved the world like 3 times in this movie. Everybody knows who Superman is.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Dude, in the first movie, Superman makes the mistake of revealing to Lois all of his powers and weaknesses, and she prints it in the Daily Planet.
That's right.
That's how
'Cause he
Lex
can't
Luthor
lie.
knows that he's
Vulnerable to kryptonite.
kryptonite, and he can't see through lead with the X-ray vision. Superman makes the mistake of telling Lois everything, so that therefore the whole world should know
I know.
what the super family powers and weaknesses are.
At least they didn't use kryptonite in this movie. You know, they used magic. That's the one thing where I go, okay, if you can't use some of these concepts like Brainiac and Superman, a witch isn't a bad idea. But I bet you anything, in 1984, there was already an existing witch character they could have used, or at least the ideas from it.
Yes.
It was a terrible villain.
Chris,
So,
they could have
I don't know.
used-
There's a lot of bad Superman-type movies, aren't there?
They could have used this spooky, creepy girl as the villain.
That looks like Annabelle, the doll Annabelle.
Isn't that a great cover, man? You
Yeah.
can't be here. You died more than 50 years ago. Did I?
Did I?
But look at this outfit of Supergirl's where she has like the little Peter
It's full
Pan.
plates. Oh, you know what? That's just coloring. I bet that the artist drew it to be like legs, and then they were like on the cover. Yeah, see, that's what she should look like.
Dude, that cover,
is-
that's badass, man. It's
They
crazy.
knew what they were doing there.
Yeah. So the old adventure comics with Supergirl and them actually have some fantastic art in them. That that's
cool.
like
I don't know
that's that outfit.
Did you see? Because you also watched some of the behind the scenes stuff. Did you see that? Like, at one point they had the outfit for her that she was wearing there with the red headband.
Yes. Yeah.
That was interesting. I was like, oh, so they could have given her a different outfit, like maybe with like the small Superman logo and the headband.
Yes. I wanted to ask you this, man. With it's a comic question specifically of one of the documentaries I saw said, and I don't know if this is correct or not. They said, they originally designed the suit with the headband and the triangle that connects to the cape for the movie. They shot footage of her that exists online, and I'll have Jamie show it right now because I know the clip to pull up. So she's acting with the headband and all that.
Yeah.
DC then put that outfit in the comics.
That makes sense. That's what comics kind of tends to do even to this day.
But then ironically, the movie was like, no, we don't like the headband now. Let's reshoot all of that and have her look more like the traditional Supergirl. So in Crisis on Infinite Earths, that cover with Superman holding dead Supergirl, she's rocking the headband. It's that.
Yeah, she only
outfit.
existed like that for about a year.
Okay, yeah.
Before Crisis killed her off. And
Right.
And for a long time, there was no Kryptonian Supergirl in the comics. With the reboot, you may remember that there was Supergirl, but she wasn't Kryptonian. She was Matrix, that protoplasm shapeshifter.
Yeah, okay.
And then they introduced, like an angel version of her? Like a fallen angel version for a while when Peter David was writing it.
Oh, that was his version. Okay.
And then there was Spear L. Yeah.
The Peter David version, she was back in sort of like the original costume though, right?
She was back in the original. Oh, and so was Matrix. Matrix looked and wore the Supergirl costume. That was the John Byrne era.
Okay.
And but she was said to be like from a pocket dimension where a good version of Lex Luthor had created this living sentient protoplasm, and she was a shapeshifter.
That's right. Okay.
She was a shapeshifter. So there's a bunch of different Supergirls out there. Power Girl was at one point, the Supergirl from Earth 2.
Okay. Yeah.
That was the original Power Girl when Wally Wood kept drawing her with bigger and bigger boobs and stuff like that. Oh my
God. Yeah. Yeah.
Wally Wood. Supergirl has interesting comic book history because, there have been a lot of different versions. I think even though it takes a little away from Superman to have other Kryptonians out there, I like the idea of Supergirl sort of having grown up and knowing Krypton a little bit and coming later. I've liked that idea that they're cousins.
Yeah.
Because why not give Superman a little bit of happiness here and there? And I like that she knows Krypton culture a little better than Superman, who left as a baby and stuff in the main continuity. Yeah. I like some of those ideas. But boy, there have been some stinker movies because, we haven't even talked about Steel yet. That might be one someday we're brave enough to cover.
Wow, I forgot about.
Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal wanted, because he loves Superman, and he's like, I'll be Steel.
Yeah, that was made as a movie. I sort of forgot about that. Lord.
Have you ever seen it?
I don't think I have. I
haven't seen it either. I've seen a clip though where he tries, there's a villain with a gun, and Shaquille O'Neal takes a grenade and does a basketball shot, and it bounces around the wall that the guy's in, and it falls in and it kills him. And I was like, whoa.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, he tosses a grenade.
This is an edgier Superman universe.
Oh man,
guys, comment below. Guys, comment below if you want Chris and I to review Steel.
There's so much that we should get to before then. We
may or may not ever do that, guys. We may or may not.
I think it's good to do the occasional superhero movie that didn't land right. I think it's important because the people that watch us like comics, and I get it. I like checking some of this stuff out, and it's you just see so much potential.
Yeah. This is appropriate timing to watch this one. And the last thing I'll say about it, I remember vividly as a kid, my older sister and I renting this from the store, and my folks, it was a weekend. My folks were going out at night, and we had a babysitter, and we were all excited about we're going to watch Supergirl together. And we popped the movie in, and I just remember my sister and I being like, "This is boring." Is this the movie? This is boring. Even as a kid, I kind of knew something's off here.
It is funny, yeah. As a kid, you don't read reviews and stuff. I remember things like having a Nintendo when I was little, and you'd play a game, and if you couldn't get far in the first level, you just figured you weren't good at it. Not that it was a badly designed game, because everything else was equal. True. And if you saw a movie that you weren't into, you were like, I'm not smart enough to get this or something. But no, there's good stuff and there's bad stuff, and a kid can tell.
Yeah, for sure.
Do I recommend this to kids? No, I don't. There's little moments that are interesting, but overall, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And like I said, I would only recommend it if you're hanging out with friends and you're joking around.
That could be fun.
Because you want to be able to talk through this movie, because there's so many scenes that you can just talk over and clown on. And
I think everybody should drink and act like they're Peter O'Toole criticizing the movie. And in this scene, I did a little squirt in the director's mouth. Not what you think.
Tell your significant other, ask them if they want a squirt before you watch this movie with them, and see how quickly they smack you in the face. For being a
that line might not have even been scripted. That might have just been Peter O'Toole, and they were like, this is all we're going to get.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's like, we got Peter O'Toole. He's only going to be standing upright for 20 minutes while we shoot this. Let's get this. Let's get it going.
Why's he got the water to spritz the flowers on set? I don't know. Let him play with it. It's a prop now. All right.
Bizarre, man. Bizarre.
We've talked about this more than I even thought we would, but it is a fascinating mistake. It's a fiasco. It's a fiasco.
Let us
Jim,
never speak of it again, Chris. Let us never. We're done. We're done.
I know you've got some stuff to plug. What do you want to plug?
Guys, yes. The big news, Arachnid Enforcer, my next creator-owned comic book, launching October 1st on Kickstarter. We have a pre-launch page ready to go. Please hit that link below. I want to get those numbers up for the pre-launch. I'm 6 pages into the actual inks at this point. I'm the story's written. I'm drawing, having a blast. There's a preview that went out through Sean's Ink Pulp Kickstarter, which by the time this airs, you guys will have that preview. I'm going to be releasing images as it comes along, having a blast with it. And you can cruise over to my website, jimmafu.com, to score my other efforts like Savage Street Vigilante one shot. And while you're over there, please sign up for my email newsletter.
Yeah.
Chris, what do you got?
Well, let me just plug a little more for you because you're being humble, but there is stuff that's been shared and announced. You're doing a cover for Iron Man. You're doing a cover for Post Malone's Big Rig. So you've got some covers coming out too.
Yeah. Also, this is July's Post Malone Big Rig issue 1. Iron Man 10 comes out July 23rd. And new series from Bad Idea called Cul-de-sac, illustrated by Jonathan Wayshak.
Oh, very cool.
And
that's a good fit. You and Jonathan together. That's a good vibe.
So I'm doing covers for all 5 issues of that. And I believe issue 1 of that hits in August. So,
very nice.
A lot going on, man. A lot going on in this studio.
Obviously. Jesus. I feel guilty like I'm taking up your time, your drawing time.
No, this is a good break. This is cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is our break. This is like our fun time, even though we're like making content. This is our fun time. So I'll plug, obviously, on this channel, I do a live stream on Mondays. I think lots of interesting news always throughout the summer to like riff on. Lots of interesting comics that I review. I've been having guests on here and there. Gonna have somebody you know pretty well, Jason Sean Alexander. By the time this comes out, I'll have had him on.
I saw that.
Had Sean Crystal on recently to talk, and boy, that was a really interesting interview, by the way. And then on my main channel, Comic Tropes, by the time this comes out, I have just released a big deep dive on my personal favorite Superman comic, which I don't say lightly, All-Star Superman by Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely. Got a lot to say, essay style on that one. So please check that out.
I agree with you, man. It's arguably the best Superman story, right? I mean, in my opinion, it is. I don't know how you top
because it's timeless.
What those guys did.
It's timeless. It's great. It's enjoyable. There's a lot of great Superman stories out there. There's a lot that I could recommend. But anyway, that's my personal favorite. So some more Superman content. And you know what? Like we always thank our editor Jamie, but talking about All-Star Superman, it's by a pair, actually 3 Scottish guys, and Jamie edits Mark Miller's podcast, another Scottish guy. So a plug to Jamie. He does a bunch of other comic book shows. He does Jim and Sean's Ink Pulp. He does Mark, I think it's called Miller Time. Anyway, so just a plug to Jamie. We appreciate you, Jamie. You make us look good. We appreciate you.
Jamie, if you don't mind, you could insert a photo of yourself right now wearing a plaid Superman shirt.
Oh,
if you don't mind. And here it is. Great. Okay. So on that note, you guys, thank you for joining us as always. Chris, always a blast having fun and talking movies with you. I love it, dude. It's awesome.
Dude, this is our fun time. Folks, keep it trashy.
Keep it trashy.
Trash Movie Bonanza. Like and subscribe. Thank you.